Well, hi and welcome back to my channel. Something a bit different this time. This is an NC60 special. It's by the National Company. Now, this is an American radio. I wouldn't normally see these in the UK. Consequently, it's made to run on, I think, something like 120 volts or maybe a little bit less than that originally. And this one has been adapted before I had it because it's a hot chassis set, but it's got a transformer in it to reduce our UK voltage to the American, around the American voltage. Obviously here it's 50 cycles rather than 60 cycles, but that shouldn't make any difference really. This one I've had for about 40 years, and it was my main listening set for several years. And I had a wire aerial down the garden in the old place I used to live, and I could pick up quite a lot with this. It's a reasonable set. I don't think it was a especially expensive one. And it's got basically broadcast band, which is band 1, and then you've got the shortwave bands 2, 3 and 4. More on that later really. This is just a triage video. I'm not going to actually start work on it today. There we have the band spread, which moves the pointer up there, which allows you to fine tune it. This is quite essential really on the shortwave bands. You've got the CW oscillator there, intended for Morse code, receiving Morse code. You might be able to resolve SSB with that as well. I don't know. I'll give it a try when I get it working. Now this one, that's your band select switch. Straightforward enough. Headphones. And then you've got the off, on and volume control there. Now this standby receive, as if you were using this with a transmitter, then you could make sure you didn't have it on receive when you were transmitting yourself and get masses of feedback. You just switch that over to there. So that would mute the set. So we need to make sure all these switches are making good contact. And obviously at the end here, the tuning and the dreaded dial cord is still connected. Now I think I used this probably 2 or 3 years ago last time, and it was still working, but a bit deaf. It's not that sensitive now. Now I've had a look online. Other people have worked on these, and they can suffer from the dreaded silver mica migration problem in the IF transformers. So if that's happened, you have to remove the mica discs from them and then fit ordinary capacitors instead, as close as you can to the IF transformers. I may have to do that. We'll see. If it won't line up, then that will indicate that's probably the problem. It has got a built-in speaker, which is the other end. Built-in speaker in there. And there's 4 bolts here, which is not factory, because that's where a mains transformer has been added to it. Now I've taken the back off, so it's all complete. Just turn it round, and having to try and do this one-handed. See, it's very dusty on top and a bit scratched. Inside there's plenty of dust. I haven't touched it for probably around 40 years inside. It's been used, and what I do remember vaguely is that when I got it, it didn't work very well, and I found the voltage was too high. And I think I actually dismantled the transformer and took some windings off the secondary to reduce the voltage. And brought it down to the correct voltage that it was intended to run on, and that improved it considerably. But as I say, I haven't touched it for years and I don't remember now. I notice I've got the ground connection there going into the mains lead, so it's using the mains ground, and then just a short piece of wire on there, which I used to twist onto an aerial piece of wire just to ensure I had something to pick up the stations. There's all sorts of mysteries here. I don't know what's going on there. Looks like I probably took the transformer out, or took the chassis off and removed the wire off the transformer and then just taped over it. It would be soldered, but it's not very good, is it? I've labelled on there because in the UK there were two systems. The old system was black neutral, red live and green earth. The American system uses black for hot or live, and then white for the neutral, and the only thing that's the same is the earth is green. It's got converted for 220 volts. Now I thought that was my writing on there, but it may not have been. If it was converted for 220 volts, we're near about getting on for 240. It's usually about 236, something like that here. It varies obviously from where you are and from day to day, but I suspect that that's why the voltage was too high, because it was probably set for the European voltage, which is slightly lower. So there's the isolating transformer. I'll need to check all that wiring. I'll need to fit a fuse somewhere. I've got a little fuse socket. On this one, maybe I'll actually put that on the case there or on the back of the chassis. All the chassis is copper plated, and the fact that it's thick with dust shows it hasn't been touched for ages. There's the small tuning capacitor at the end for the band spread, and the main one there. And very nice, and in the UK we call them valves. A lot of other countries you call them tubes. Very nice little valves, nice neat little ones. But whether I could get any equivalents here easily or not for them, I don't know. And then say there's the IF cans. It's quite a simple set really. It's not hugely complicated. It would have been quite a budget set, but very well made. So it's for somebody, a radio amateur or something like that, somebody who's really interested in radio, could buy this. You could actually use it as a broadcast band receiver, and it would work reasonably well. Okay, not a nice wooden cabinet or anything for that, but to put in the lounge, but you could do. And you'd have your shortwaves as well for a bit of shortwave listening. I think it was made around about 1959, so it's nearly as old as me. And the next stage will be to start working on the capacitors, check the filter caps, which are probably the original ones, because it was about 25 years old when I got it. So the filter caps probably ought to be changed just in case, really. And then also I'll check out any paper capacitors, and I'll check the capacitor going to the grid of the output valve, which is one which have to be careful of, because you don't want positive potential going on the grid, which will switch the valve fully on, damaging the output transformers, anything else like that. So that's it really. That's just a beginning, but it's a triage video, this one. I'm going to come back to this when I start working on it, take the chassis out and check it over, and hopefully be able to follow this one through. I don't envisage it being too bad, apart from the possibility of the silver mica problem. So we'll see how it goes. I hope this is of interest to some of you, and thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one. Bye for now.